out and pull off. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Down, 30 base.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jayon Brown coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
X3, 218, chop. 5.
Operating from the gun. Herbert, he's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Blue draw quarter. Look at me. Get ready.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Horton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Great. 61, Matchbox White. Stop your body.
On 1st down, Herbert. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 6. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Prater's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Hey, orbit. Shoot.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Coming to you, coming to you. You 6'6", pull it high. Man.
On third down, Horton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A quick check on the numbers for Keenan Allen from last week. 3 catches, 66 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Charger football to start quarter number 2. 6-0 our score after 1. Looking to throw. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now it's the backup Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Herbert. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Jimmy Kahn, 132 fighter.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Matt Judon in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Throwing on third and long. Herbert, man open. That's Robert Foster complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second and 5 now. Winston, a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that will get them one closer. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
At the 27-yard line.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, a run with Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play,
so the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes. And it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Winston now. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Come on, Sunday. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
On third down, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Charger drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Ingram. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jackson. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Guard. Joker. Kill. You're out.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Check 31. General West. Hey, Sam off. Deep rip.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Lindsey. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Tighten up. X3. 218. Chop. Leo. Check. Crunch. Now.
To throw on second down. Horton. Got him in. It's Brown. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
56, the Mike boy, 56. Check 56. Load it. Let's go. Watch twist. Get it.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ready? 15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie. Yo, 25.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And a second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On the return, Jackson. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On first down, Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Pass interference.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Rock it, flipper. Ready.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Ready. 8-3.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check 56.
On second down now, it's Lindsay. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here we go on second and 12. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now third and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Herbert. And the pressure gets to him again. Jeffrey Simmons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Herbert, this one complete to Ingram. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now here come the Ravens. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeout in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
On the double. 56. Check 56. Better bring it. You bet. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Hey, lock it. Switch. Check. Look at me. Door. Get it.
To throw on 3rd down. Horton. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So the Chargers now down on the scoreboard. Just over 1:40 to play. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He'll look to throw. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Back to throw. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. He's back to throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete. 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run here with Ingram. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make...
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. And even 60 yards.
Ready, black 25. Let's convert. 3 down. Out. Check it out, Reed. 5-0. 56 is the mic. Let's go.
Here's Winston. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Williams. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will score. Touchdown, LA.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.